I am Whispers-Kerry, your domesticated diva. Welcome to Wednesday Night Whispers. There is often a negative stigma surrounding bodybuilding and those who dedicate their lives to improving their fitness through perceived extreme exercises. However, this is not necessarily the case. Bodybuilding is a great way to keep yourself balanced, giving your body proportion, shaping and helping general fitness. Not only does bodybuilding improve your physical condition, it also leads to mental health benefits, giving you a clearer state of mind thanks to a weight training and exercise aerobic program. May is not just physical fitness month. Tonight, my guest will reveal how bodybuilding got him through his battle with cancer. He is 55 years old, lives in Port St. Lucie, Florida, a graduate of Marshall University with a degree in criminal justice. Currently, he is a teacher at Fort Pierce Central High School, former coach for high school football, track, and girls basketball. He played high school and college football and ran track. His late dad was a pro football player. Football was his first love. He's been lifting and exercising since he was 13 years old. He was a professional boxer for several years, fought his last pro fight at 47. He's married to Yolanda Parks for 26 years with 4 children and 3 grandchildren, and she will be joining us tonight. He's been a personal trainer in the past, as well as has acted in 6 small movies. See references on IMBD.com. How did he get interested in bodybuilding is when he simply wasn't. However, he loves manipulating his body, but got into bodybuilding only a year ago after a couple of bouts with cancer. He believed like lifting weights and training through treatment would help him stay strong enough to fight things when they got rough. Once he was past his ordeal with cancer, he started thinking about competing again at something. Why not bodybuilding? He started researching fitness competitions and ended up deciding to do a fitness show. He fell in love with the sport the first time he stepped on the stage, and now, a little over a year later, here he is, Mr. and Mrs. Kerry Parks.
All right.
So excited to have you guys
Thank
here.
you for having us.
Thank you.
Ms. Parks, I'm going to say this. Behind every good man is a good woman, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
There's a lot going on in this resume right here. There's a lot going on. And we're just going to dive right into it, okay?
Okay.
And I must say, this is my family from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Guys, I left 9 years ago. I tell my husband every day I want to go back. He's like, you can go. You go. So there's quite a resume. Did I leave anything out?
No, I think you got just about everything. I currently teach at Westwood High School, though.
Okay.
So I have a stick at Central. My son goes to Central. All my children graduated from Fort Pierce Central, but I work at Westwood High School.
Okay, I might have been all over the place, y'all.
That's all right.
That's okay. And I apologize for that.
Oh, it's all good.
All right, so we're gonna start with the bodybuilding portion of this. Tell me, so what would a workout before bodybuilding competition look like now versus a workout while you're bodybuilding? Are they different?
A lot different. Before, when I did weightlifting and I was training for whatever specific sport, the goal was just to put on a little bit of muscle mass. You really didn't care how it went on. You just wanted to get bigger and stronger and be able to perform better. Bodybuilding is completely different. It's all about the look. So it's all about paying attention to all the small details that's going to make you look different from your opponents that's standing on stage with you. So it's a little bit different.
So were you, okay, I know you trained for the sport that you were competing in, but were you bigger than you are now? Or are you smaller now?
Much bigger, probably walking around about 205. Right now, I'm currently at almost at stage weight, so I'm about 185. When I'm
Okay.
not training for bodybuilding, I'm up a little over 200 pounds. But
Oh.
my stage weight is about 185 right now.
Now, I don't know anything about bodybuilding. Is it like different classes for, like how wrestlers, they got to weigh in or something? Do you have to
Yeah,
do that?
we go by height, and according to whatever your height is, that's going to dictate what weight that you're able to compete at.
Now, there's no age limit. So you mean to tell me you might be going up against somebody who's 12?
I go against anybody that's legal. So we say 18. They do have teenage divisions. But
Okay.
I do masters. I've done masters. The very first competition I did masters, which was 40 and over, I believe.
Okay.
And also did open, which is everybody. Doesn't matter age. So I did well in my first competition that I ever did. I won masters and also won overall.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Round of applause. Round of applause.
We're making the young boys work a little bit.
Oh, Miss Parks, have you ever thought about going into it?
I'm sorry.
Bodybuilding? Have you ever thought about going into bodybuilding since you've been watching your husband?
Me? No, man. No, no. I like to eat too much. I support him. I tell him what he needs to do, but I'm gonna let him have that glory. Yes.
So when he woke up and said, "Honey, I think I want to be a bodybuilder," your response was,
Okay.
Nonchalant.
He has his hands in a lot of pots, and I know this is what helps him. He loves it, and I support it.
Okay.
That's what he wants to do. I do what it takes to support him.
Okay. Behind every good man stands a good woman. So
Absolutely.
there you go. All right. Now, so what's different as far as your workout plan? What is it different from before competition to now competition? Is the workout plan different?
You mean as far as different sports, or you just mean in general?
No, being a bodybuilder, do you work out differently?
Oh yes, I have to pay attention to every detail. Like before bodybuilding, if I went to the weight room to train for a specific sport, it might be 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops. I'm in the weight room in the gym now, 2.5 hours.
3 hours.
Because
or longer sometimes.
Because I do all the exercises necessary to hit the big muscles,
and
then I go into detail, and then I work all the other exercises to work the small muscles to hopefully give me that advantage on stage. So
and then the cardio,
and so a typical day for me is 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm up, and we take off from there. First workouts at 3 o'clock. Come home, eat breakfast or make breakfast. Make it to work. Eat breakfast at work. Work. Come home. Do my daddy duties, whatever they may be. Taking Junior to practice, whatever mom has for me, and then back to the weight room. Finish up.
And sometimes he makes it home 9, 10 o'clock. And then start over, same regimen the next day.
So when you say regimen, give us what it looks like, if you don't mind. Give us what it looks like that 3 a.m. What are you doing? Are you just lifting weights? Are you doing a row machine? What are you doing?
It depends.
Depends on what body part.
Yeah, it depends on what body part. Sometimes lately, like if I'm doing legs, I've been doubling up on legs. So I'll do a leg workout in the morning that's fairly intense, and then I'll do another intense workout in the evening. But for all the other body
weights, like you have weights on you when you're doing legs.
A typical workout, like in the morning, if I'm doing legs, I'm probably going to start with leg press, and I'm probably going to do upwards around 150 reps I've been doing. And then I move to the other exercises. So I get a lot of reps.
I have a poker face. I need to warn you. I don't have a poker face.
I do a lot. So it's extreme.
Very
it's extreme.
I be dying with 30.
Mm-hmm.
No, this morning.
You're talking about 150.
This morning or yesterday morning, I got up and did leg press first because I knew my evening workout was going to be short. So I wanted to get my first hard push exercise with legs. So I did leg press probably for about 150 reps. 100 reps of leg extensions, maybe 150 reps of leg curls, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And then went to the gym later on that night and tackled the hard stuff, the squats and back to leg extensions, back to straight leg deads. And
He said the hard stuff, as if that 150 was not hard.
All of it's hard to me. Exactly. I'm with you. I'm with you.
So, if you had to look in the arena of bodybuilders, who is your influencer? Who influenced you? If you just had to take one person out there who bodybuilds, who influenced you?
I'm old school, so I mean the older bodybuilders like your Arnold Schwarzeneggers and your Lou Ferrignos and those type guys.
These young kids don't even know who Lou Ferrigno is.
Nah,
They might know who Arnold
Incredible
Schwarzenegger is.
Hulk.
I don't know that Incredible Hulk.
The first Incredible Hulk.
They don't even know who that is, honey. I used to run home on Friday afternoons.
Yes. Exactly. Yep.
That's right.
They don't know who that is, and they don't even know that he's deaf. He can't hear.
Right.
So,
Right.
And they're looking at me like, I told a kid, he walked by, I said, "You kind of look like Lou Ferrigno." He said, "Who?" He was like, "Yes, who?"
Yeah,
So this is really intriguing to me. I can see, because I used to love to watch the Hulk, and it's so odd because when he turned green, I was like, I wonder if he naturally like that. That's me being ignorant back in the day. I was like, does he work out? I don't know. I just thought people woke up and they were big one day and defined. Now in my old age, I know that's not true.
No.
It's definitely a process.
No, them old schoolers, they put in hard work.
Right.
So I kind of followed their system. Those guys train hard.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the biggest change for you in becoming a bodybuilder? What's the one thing that was the biggest change?
I've always been like very active and very busy. So if I put my mind to something, I'm like all in. For me,
Eating.
Probably the eating has been the biggest change, because before, I would eat whatever and didn't really worry about, how it went on, as long as I was packing on muscle.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's a big difference, because I have to be a certain percentage of body fat when I step on stage. So I have to measure all my food, measure my meats, measure my carbs, what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do. I'm measuring it.
Told me to lose 10 pounds and told me to do all that stuff you did, and I just told her no. All right. And matter of fact, when I go back on June 30th, I was supposed to have lost 10 pounds. I've added 2. So
it's hard.
It is hard. It is very hard. And you bring that up, but all jokes aside, my gynecologist said to me, "You really need to lose 10 pounds because of my cholesterol." And this is my gynecologist talking, not my regular doctor, but she was like, "Your cholesterol is crazy right now." She said, "I need you to lose 10 pounds before you come back." And she said, "And I want you to get a calorie counter," as if I didn't already have one. I just don't use it. So I literally started today, which she told me this on March 30th. Today is May 17th. And so I went in and started putting in. I said, I'm going to do this. I can lose 10 pounds before June 30th. Right. And I haven't eaten dinner yet. And I've taken up all the calories that I said I was going to use for today.
That's the hard part.
It is.
That's the hard part. Keep it with those calories.
And people don't know you can go outside and exercise and get some more calories in there, but that defeats the purpose.
Right.
That defeats the whole purpose of you losing weight.
Right.
So I commend you on that. And I think for anybody losing weight, it's the food.
It is.
It's definitely the food. It's definitely
the preparation, all of it.
It's definitely the diet.
Prepping it. It's a lot.
Yeah, we are. I know I'm a big foodie. Sequita says he's still at St. Lucie. I know, Sequita. Stop badgering me.
We got it straight.
I had to apologize, darling. I've already done that. Okay. So I'm glad poor St. Lucie.
2 claps for the wood.
Yeah. So, and anybody, she told me in my age, anybody over 50 needs to do carb cycling. And all of that seems good to me, but when I put it in my calorie counter, I was like, there's nothing I can eat. I don't want to eat this. I don't want to eat that. So it really and truly to know that somebody who's bodybuilding struggles with the food portion of it, because I can go out exercise all day. It's the food for me.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
And that's where your biggest change is. I found once I started manipulating my diet, man, the changes that it made in my body was like amazing to me. That was even more so than the training.
So it really is true. She's gonna make me lose these 10 pounds.
It's true.
The diet is everything.
Okay. So tell us about a competition. Tell us about the titles you won. Tell us about how you felt when the first time you walked out on that stage.
The first time I stepped on stage, I was pretty nervous. I didn't have a clue of what was going on. I didn't know how to pose. I had, I kind of looked on YouTube and tried to figure out what to do, and I just went out there and just kind of winged it, and still did well because of my physique was, on point.
Okay.
But as far as the dieting, not the dieting, but the posing, those type things, I had to go back to the drawing board and hire a posing coach and learn how to present my body and learn how to show off, the best parts and then hide the weaker parts. So my first competition went well, and I think the second competition even went better. I think I won every category I was in. And then the third category I was in, I also won every category I was in, falling short of winning overall, but winning my individual categories. I think the second show I won 4 first place, and then the third show I won 4 first place.
Okay.
So we've been pretty successful so far.
All right. Anything coming up? Are you still?
Oh yeah, we got the Florida Pros coming up. That's going to be a big one. That's June 4th.
First weekend in June.
First weekend in June on a Sunday in Orlando. This is a big one. There's going to be competition from all over the United States.
So now do regular people come to that? Is it advertised somewhere? Do we just come in and sit down? We pay to come in and sit down? Tell us what we do.
Yeah, you pay to come in and sit down. We put on quite a show. There's so many different categories, men and women. There's music, there's a DJ. For this particular show, I heard the DJ was exceptional. They play good music, the crowd gets into it. Sometimes they're dancing in the audience. They're just having a good time. It's a great show. It's a great experience.
So when we finish the show, I want you to go in and type in this comments where they can find the show. So Absolutely. We gotta get St. Lucie over there to support you.
Yeah, we gotta. That'd be great. That'd be great. The more people I bring to the party, the bigger the party is.
Exactly. We want them screaming your name out in the party. Now, when is it? Because I'm having surgeries, but if it's before the surgery.
June 4th. June 4th.
I got you.
About 2.5 weeks.
13. Y'all tell us where to come.
June 4th.
Yeah.
Tell us where to come. We're gonna bring all of course St. Lucie, a little bit of Tampa with us, okay?
Yes. Bring it. Let's go. Let's go take some time.
This thing here, okay? I love it. And so the nerve, Yolanda, were you there for the first one?
I've been there for all of them. Yes.
Were you nervous too?
I was nervous. I'm nervous. Yes. Because I know
everybody talking and you want to say, "That's my husband." You better hush.
And I do. I
didn't think you would be sitting idly by and let somebody talk about your husband, all right?
No, I don't. And everybody's pretty nice about it because you have a lot of people, you don't know the story behind why they're up on the stage.
All right.
You have a lot of people that have had illnesses. You've had people that have lost tremendous amount of weight, so they support everybody.
Yeah.
So it's a great feeling.
It just does my heart good to know that he's 55 and he beating out some of them little boys over there on that stage.
Yeah.
That's just good.
He's giving them a run for their money, making them mad too. Yeah.
It's just being over at 50 that I still have a chance.
Yes.
That's right.
And mature muscle looks different from young muscle. It really is a process. Like everything else, it's a process. It takes time.
And so you've seen the change.
I've
seen a big change though, Miss Parks. Have you really seen a big change?
Most definitely. I have. I can see it.
When did you start seeing the change, Mr. Parks?
What's that now?
When did you start seeing a change?
It took a while. I knew it was going to be a process because it's a slow process. We're talking about putting on pounds of muscle. To put on maybe 2 pounds of muscle going to take you 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 months. It comes on very slow. You put on 10 solid pounds of muscle, might take you a year if you're doing
I'll be
everything.
discouraged by then.
Yeah.
It's a process.
But that diet is the key to everything.
The diet is definitely the key to everything. And
yeah.
the difference of 10 pounds of muscle added on to my frame, like in a year, completely different look.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
So we've been working for these past several months, and I think we put on about 3 or 4 pounds of muscle, and it shows. Mm-hmm. It's a big difference.
Listen, I'm gonna have to leave McDonald's milkshakes alone. Okay. Yeah, that part.
I go straight to McDonald's and everybody else as soon as the show's over too.
Really?
About 2 days I have at it. Sometimes longer.
Okay. I'm gonna start having to work out. What you're gonna have to do is start posting us who are not fit yet. Tell us some little small stuff to work on, and let us work on that for 2-3 months, and then we come back and get us something else to work on and try that again. Because right now I'm discouraged. That's why I went by McDonald's yesterday.
I did too.
So now here's the part that I didn't know, and I don't know if everybody else knows. And if you're willing, whatever you're not willing to answer, just don't answer it. So had you had any health concerns before the bodybuilding? None.
I never had any like real health issues aside from injuries from participating in whatever sports and those type of things like that. But as far as like a real illness or sickness,
okay. So what type of cancer was it, if you don't mind?
It started off as prostate cancer, and I from what my doctor says, I had it for a long time. And all the symptoms that kind of came, with this cancer, man, in hindsight, when I look back at it, all the messages was there, and like something's wrong. Not, but me being a man and thinking I'm invincible and not really thinking, no, something's wrong with you. I kind of ignored it. And I got to a point where it was almost too late once we found out that I had cancer. So, once we found out that I had it, it had already spread its way and starting to make its way outside of the prostate. And so
did you start bodybuilding while you had cancer?
I was already heavy weightlifting, always trained off and on since I was 13 years old. The only time I really stopped training when I boxed, because I had to lose so much weight boxing, and boxing, weightlifting kind of went against, boxing, but
wasn't specifically.
But wasn't specifically, but I've always trained off and on. Mm-hmm. So I was training at the time that I found out that I had cancer, and when I found out, my mindset was like, okay, we're in a fight. So I need to be as strong as I can be, mentally and physically, to fight the fight. So that was my mindset. And I always tell this story, and people kind of laugh. I went through 2 bouts with cancer. The first one was the surgery, and we thought, my mindset was like, let's take the biggest blow we can at it, which was surgery. We got through the surgery, and when it came back, man, that's when you kind of start to worry, because surgery's not going to fix it now. So now you're talking about hoping that the radiation works, or whatever, or chemo or whatever. For me, it was radiation. So my mindset was, let's keep lifting, let's keep fighting, let's be as strong as we can be, and get through this radiation. And the radiation can be pretty tough on the body. Burned me up pretty good on the inside, and I was black. I was black in all the spots, where they did the radiation. But my mindset was I was going to keep training, keep lifting, stay strong. Doctors were telling me, Kerry, there's no way you're going to be able to train. You're going to be tired. You're going to be weak. And I'm like, no, my mindset is I'm going to train. So like 1 or 2 things going to happen. I tell this story all the time. And I told the doctors, 2 things is going to happen. Number 1, I'm going to continue lifting regardless. Number 2, if I happen to lose this fight with cancer, then I'm going to be like the most fit angel in heaven, because I ain't stopped lifting. I'm not going to stop lifting. So that was my mindset. So they kind of laughed at me and say, let's leave this guy alone and let him do what he do. So, we got through that
Now,
process.
you guys are in Port St. Lucie. Everybody knows Charlie Matthews, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one day I was in the middle of radiation and I drove myself home and I couldn't keep my eyes open. And I literally just pulled over on the side of the road 1 mile from Fort Pierce Central High School. And I called my doctor and I said, something's wrong. I can't keep my eyes open. He said, did you drive yourself? I said, yes, I've been driving myself for the past 4 weeks. What are you talking about? He said, did my nurses not tell you that you were going to be lethargic? No. And I literally could not keep my eyes open. And I kept hitting my head on the forehead, my forehead on the steering wheel. So I was just like, this isn't right. So then he said, is there anybody who can come get you? I called my husband and Charlie. They were at football practice. They drove down, took me home, and went back to football practice. So when you say your doctors told you that but radiation would make you tired or zap your energy, I experienced that firsthand. I do not know how you continue to exercise through that. I just don't know. You are probably Credible Hulk's younger brother or something because younger brother. Because I can tell you my own experience. I didn't make it, and so then my husband they had to change. They literally changed told me I had to change my appointments to the afternoon, so because I was going in the morning time, so that it wouldn't interfere with his football practice. But I don't know how you did it. I really don't.
My mindset was like,
and he did
from the beginning, everything is a fight. This is a fight, so I got to be at my best. So I'm going all out, like to the end. That's my mindset, like almost with everything I do. In the weight room, anything with competition or anything where I'm challenging myself.
Okay.
It's like you go all out.
So how long did you do radiation? Because I had 37 rounds of radiation.
I had I think 40 some odd rounds.
Okay.
High 30s, just about 40, maybe 42. Somewhere it was
I
somewhere
feel like
there
it
was a
like
lot
42. I think.
it was a lot. It was a lot.
And I do understand what you're saying. It does burn. Mine burned so bad I had to take a week off and then they had to start back again because I was so burnt.
I got through it, but I mean I was black. Like my skin was black all the way around.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that. I commend you, sir. I commend you so much because people don't understand. They're sitting and they're watching this and they do not understand what you're saying because that radiation might have taken 4 minutes, but it burned so much in those 4 minutes and you didn't see it until there was an accumulation of it. I was just like, so I do understand what you're saying. And I want people out there to understand what he's talking about. If you're just joining this show in progress, he started bodybuilding at 55. He's 55. He started bodybuilding maybe a year and a half ago.
About a little over a year ago, yeah.
And then he had a bout with prostate cancer, and I am assuming you won. Everything is done.
We're good right now. My doctor won't ever use the term permanent remission. He won't ever really use the term remission. It's not detectable right now, and that's what he kind of goes with. And his mindset is that way because he's had guys that have had the same type surgery and have been in what he called remission for 20 some odd years, and then it just come back from nowhere.
Yeah, so, they say that to me too. But you know what? I'm claiming it. The doctors can say what you want to say. I'm claiming it.
I claim it every day. I just have to go back every 6 months and check, and then we move forward from there. So I don't really look back. Yeah.
No chemo.
No chemo. I didn't do chemo. It's just radiation. I was told that if I had to go through it again, radiation would not be an option. I guess it would be chemo or hormones or something of that nature. So we're not, like you said, we're not claiming that. We're not looking back.
We're not claiming it at all. And if I had to choose, I would say radiation any day.
I would rather take radiation again.
That chemo is brutal, baby. But that's all right. All these people out there with a gun, just change. I would love to swap you a gun for that chemo needle and see how bad you think you are.
That's right. I get that.
All right. So you're done with treatment. You've gone through radiation. There's no permanent remission. It's just undetectable right now. I know the biggest support system is sitting beside you. Is there anybody else?
My entire family. I mean, that's what I thrive on is um, just experiencing those guys and seeing them every day in in their existence. That's everything to me. So just my family, and that's one of the things that made me fight. I was like really sad when this first came up because they were sad, and I didn't want to leave them like in a sad state. So my mindset was, I'm gonna fight to be here because I don't. It would be hard for me to leave here, knowing that I'm leaving them in a sad state like that. So my mindset was to fight. And so any close friends or relatives, I would tell them, hey, let's not talk about this cancer situation like in a bad way or woe was me type thing. Let's be upbeat because I'm the one got to fight, and I don't want to hear like no doubt in nobody's mind. If you got any doubt, don't say anything to me because I don't fight that way.
All right.
Fight to win. So
all right.
That was my mindset.
So that was the biggest fear, or was the biggest fear?
Yeah, just leaving my family in a sad state. That was the biggest fear.
Yeah.
That was my biggest fear. That was my biggest hurt and biggest concern through it all. Of course, I was worried about myself because we all, we want to continue to flourish in our own existence. But, my family was like, seeing them shed any tears or be upset about it, that was the hard part for me. So.
Awesome. Listen, nobody can believe that this person is balancing weight training, bodybuilding with cancer. I've never heard of that before. That's just unfathomable. But this story, the more that I talk to people, the more I'm finding out these fascinating stories. Last week I had a lady who ran a 5K marathon, had a stroke, started having the symptoms before the 5K and went on to run the 5K. And when she got off the trail and told her husband, now I feel like going to the hospital. I said, what?
That's my mindset. You gotta finish what you start. You gotta finish it.
That's him.
That's my mindset. I've been on the highway. I've been on the highway running like when I was a boxing, and I do put in like some mornings like 8, 9, 10 miles. And I run so far away from home, and my mind says, man, I don't feel, got a little headache, chest hurting a little bit. If I fall out, I'm going to fall out of here on the highway fighting and doing what I love to do. So it's crazy to think that way, but that's just like the mindset of an athlete, I guess.
Miss Yolanda?
I hope that it don't happen, but.
I was home in the bed asleep.
I come home and tell her about it.
8, 9.
Listen, I'll lift all the weights with you. I'll do whatever I can, but I'll do changing my eating habits. All this right here is sugar. Okay?
That's the hard part. Taking that sugar out the diet is so hard.
All this is sugar. Part. It ain't loving, it's sugar. It's the love of sugar.
I love my sugars.
He struggles, but he's definitely disciplined because I eat a lot of stuff I shouldn't. I should be doing a little bit better too, but he definitely stays on his regimen.
It's tough.
He says, I can't eat that.
I won't miss out. I won't miss out on a birthday party or something. I'm not going to miss out. I'll take me a piece of cake and I'll freeze it. And then after my show, I'll come back and eat it.
Yeah.
Well, tell me this. What does a meal look for you? Give us a rundown from breakfast.
My breakfast
is bodybuilding, when you're training. Tell us what a day of meals look like for you.
My breakfast is always the same. If I'm in prep, I'm eating 4 times a day. If I'm not in prep, then I'm eating 5 times a day. So I'm in prep right now. So I have breakfast, 2 lunches, and then dinner. My breakfast is always either egg whites or eggs, almonds, mixed fruit. I love mixed fruit with strawberries, blackberries, blueberries.
But how is this almond cooked? Is it raw?
No, I just take almonds. I eat almonds.
Almonds. That's oatmeal. Almonds. I don't like.
I do oatmeal from time to time too. I'll do oatmeal from time to time as a change up from the fruit. So it's either fruit or oatmeal, and it's always eggs. Is my main source of meat in the morning. Sometimes I'll just
scrambled specific oatmeal.
Yeah, it's I like Kodiak oatmeal. And chocolate's been my go-to. That with a little half a banana. That's my thing every morning. If it's not oatmeal, it's mixed fruit.
So you said Kodiak. What
Kodiak oatmeal. It's an oatmeal that has like a little bit more protein than the other oatmeals. So
Okay.
bodybuilders are about getting as much protein into the body as possible.
But what about the eggs? Are they scrambled? Are they raw?
I don't. I put a little butter in the pan. If I don't boil them, I put a little butter in the pan. I'll put them in the pan, and sometimes I just let them cook up like that and fold them in half and put a little honey on them. Put a little honey on it, and
see, I can get with the honey.
Okay, that's it, and that's my meal. So it's the eggs with a little bit of honey, oatmeal, a little bit of fruit. That's my main breakfast. My lunches are always the same.
No, I didn't hear no sugar in that oatmeal.
In the oatmeal, no, a little honey. If it's not sweet, a little bit of honey. If it's chocolate, it doesn't need any sweetener.
Okay.
If it's the chocolate chip Kodiak.
I see why you don't want to do this, Miss Parks. Okay, keep going. So lunch is what? What does lunch look like?
Lunch is always the same. Lunch is either chicken, fish, sometimes steak, ground beef for my meat, and it's usually 6 ounces of any one of those meats. Only probably 4 ounces of ground beef, and it's always either broccoli, green beans for a veggie, and about, depending on where I'm at in training, either a cup all the way down to a third cup of rice. That's it. That's my lunch.
Okay. You said 2 lunches.
Yeah, so I'll do every 3 hours. I'll eat. Well, when I'm not in prep, it's every 3 hours. When I'm in prep, it's about every 3.5, 4 hours. Just depends. And if I need to snack in between, then it's maybe a rice cake with some peanut butter or something like that.
All right. Somebody loving y'all. Love this couple. Love this couple. Okay. In the chat room. So tell me, okay, dinner. Because you've had like a whole dinner for lunch. So what does dinner look like?
Dinner kind of depends. If I don't feel like I need to take any carbs in that night, then it's just probably all meat, probably a steak, egg whites. Maybe that's it.
And is there like a cutoff period where you can't, like a cutoff time where you can't eat after? I hear people saying all this, I can't eat after.
Not for me. If I'm really like staying close to my regimen and doing things exactly the way I need to do them, I'm gonna stop eating maybe about 7:30, and then I won't eat again until 7:30 the next day. So I get a little bit of intermittent fasting in there while I'm sleeping. So I don't eat again for 12 hours, and then I start right at 7:30 the next day, and then it's every 3 hours from that point. If it's 5 meals, if it's 4 meals, then I kind of, it's 3.5 hours, maybe 4 hours.
Okay.
So it kind of depends. And supper kind of changes depending on how my day went, how I feel, how my body feels. When I do what I call my fat check, when I look in the mirror and see what the stomach's looking like, see what the muscles are looking like, that kind of dictates how much carbs I take in at night, if I take any in. Okay. So right now I'm at the point where we're getting close to the show. I'm taking in as little carbs at night as possible. I do my carbs in the morning.
How are you recording this? Are you using these like calorie counters on your phone, or are you right here?
I did the first couple shows that I did, I used them, but now I know my body so well. I measure my food and I can count. I'm always complaining to her and telling her I feel dried out, or I'm pudgy, or I'm bloated. So I know how different foods affect my body at different times when I take them in, like salads. I don't usually do salads too late at night the way I make them. So it just depends on what I'm eating. Kind of dictates, dictate about how I feel.
Wow, this is interesting to me. I know I'm not going up for no competition anytime soon, but I think the hardest part for me, I don't know about anybody watching, is the food intake. I don't count even though I'm counting the calories, I'm not looking at the specific grams of what ingredients I'm taking in. I'm just looking at, I can't eat over 1,200 calories. Right. And that's it. But I'm not looking at what I'm intaking. You know what I'm saying?
That's where the trick is. Is specifically what are you intaking? How many grams of this? How many grams of that?
How much fat?
Because you can eat all your calories in carbs, or you can eat all your calories in protein. And, so you have to choose according to your body how it's going to respond to your diet, how much calorie intake is going to be carbs, how much is going to be protein, how much fat are you going to take in, and that type thing.
There's a question. It says, sounds like you prepare your own meals.
I do, and my wife does a lot of the prepping for me too, because she knows my habits and what I like to eat.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's it. So this is actually a team effort.
Right.
Has to be.
Always has been, definitely.
Okay. Oh man, I just got if I go and throw out all that sugar and that's in my pantry right now, my family will revolt against me. You understand that? It's just too much junk in there. And the thing my husband likes is potato chips. He's not a big sweet person. It's potato chips everywhere. Bags of potato chips here, bags of potato chips there. That boy, he'd probably kill me if I threw away all his bags of potato chips.
And see, they do their thing with their eating. I kind of tough it out and move through it as best I can. I know when it's crunch time, I'm not picking up that piece
Miss
of cookie.
Parks, you mean to tell me you're not eating what he eat?
No, ma'am.
Listen,
I'm not training.
She will train with me. She will train with me sometimes. She'll train with me real hard.
Do better.
And she'll do everything I do and match my intensity just so she can eat, which is fine, which is cool.
I want to lose weight. I'm trying to lose weight, but that food hang up got me. That thing about the food, that's just killing me. I love my food, people. I'm a foodie.
Because I love to eat, and I love my sweets. But,
he does get kind of ornery because he wants to eat sometimes, but he knows he can't. So he sticks to it.
I bake cakes every Sunday. I'm making something sweet. Cakes and sweet potato, not sweet potato pies. I'm not a pie baker, but banana pudding, that kind of crazy nonsense in there. And then I'm talking about losing weight, but for breakfast, I got a bowl of banana pudding going to work. That doesn't work.
You can't do that.
That doesn't work.
No, that won't work.
So if you had anybody, I'm going to ask you a twofold question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's battling cancer, give them some advice, not together, but anybody who wants to be a bodybuilder, give them some separate advice here. Start with the cancer.
Starting with the cancer, how you deal with the situation, accept the reality of what it is for what it is. That's number one. You have to come to that mindset that, this is what it is and what it can do to you potentially. Then you have to make up your mind that you're going to fight. And for me making up my mind, I would say from the research, I research everything. I went through the surgery that I was going to have over and over again. I watched it so many times on YouTube. I probably could have did it to myself. I watched it so many times to understand exactly what was going to happen to me, because that helped me with my preparation for the fight.
Yeah.
So always say research, always understand the process of what you're about to go through, fully understand it, make up your mind that you're going to do whatever necessary to get through that process, and then, move forward and understand that there's going to be some ups and downs, but you have to continue to move forward. Whether you're feeling down or you're feeling up mentally, emotionally, you have to continue to move forward in your fight. And, that's the advice I would give people that are going through any situation that's potentially terminal like that. As far as the weight training, bodybuilding, it's the same. And anything you do, you need to understand what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. Number one.
Okay.
And number two, then you need to research it, understand all the ups and downs that's going to come with it, all the good and bad that's going to come with it. Make up your mind that you're going to be able to deal with the bad as well as the good that goes along with it, and then you move forward and give it your best. So that's my mindset. So it's pretty similar to everything I go through, whether it's dealing with cancer or whether dealing with competing in bodybuilding or whatever I do. That's my mindset. I'm always understand. I had a great friend who would always say to me, you know what the mission is, so now just go execute the plan.
Awesome.
And
that's great.
So.
All right, Mama Beth, supporting the man on the mission. I don't care what mission it is. What advice do you have in the supporting role?
Be patient. Be patient.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times he's on the go, he's doing his own thing, and it's a process. It's a process for everybody. It's a process for me, it's a process for the kids. It affects everybody. So just be patient,
Okay.
be supportive,
Okay.
and let them blossom.
Oh.
Let him fight his fight, and everything will fall in place. And
That sounds like you've been together a while. Look at you.
it has pulled him. Fitness has pulled him from a very dark place.
Okay.
I can't even imagine what it is like to have cancer. But I've lived it watching him, and this has given him something to shoot for.
Yes.
And he's excelling in it. And whatever makes him happy, it makes me happy.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm here.
Yes.
And he knows that.
I will say this also. When you're trying to achieve something that's a little bit different from the norm, or you're trying to do something that you consider maybe great, and I tease the guy in the gym about this all the time. You have to be almost a little bit selfish.
Okay.
Selfish in your time that I'm spending some time away from my family. Selfish in a way that I'm kind of spending so much time doing what makes me feel good at the time, or what I need to do to accomplish something great. So you have to almost be a little bit selfish, and that's a tough thing to do at times, because there's been many a times that I've been in the weight room and I'm thinking about my family at home. Like I gotta get on out of here and get home to my family, but I gotta finish what I started, because I know at the end of 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever, I'm gonna be standing on that stage, and there's no excuses.
Okay.
So I have to follow through.
All right. Oh, wow, that's powerful from both of you guys. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to have had you here, because I'm sure there's somebody else in the world who has, but I don't know them. This is about as a unique story as I could possibly find. You understand what I'm saying? When you're saying someone who's battling cancer, but as well as becoming a bodybuilder in the mix of it, it's just really something unknown to me. So if anybody else knows somebody.
And maintaining a full-time job.
Yes. Not sitting home while you're going through this.
No.
So that's why all these little young people that give up so easily, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk to you about it, because here's some true athleticism plus some true courage and endurance sitting right here in front of all of us. So if you have some young people in the world, show them this video, because they really need to hear it. They give up so easily. Marriages give up so easily. People don't want to stick anything out. Listen, you two have been an inspiration to me. I am so blessed to have you had both of you here. And I'm just going to ask you, if you have any other people with extraordinary stories, send them my way, because I would love to interview them. I try to make it as easy and comfortable as I can. We're just having a conversation and everybody's watching. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna go off, but somebody from Sin City says, a true inspiration. Proud to call you my brother. All right.
All right. I might know who that is.
I won't tell if you want. Okay.
Definitely, if we can get guys to come out and support for the show, we love to bring a big party to the show.
Don't forget to link that in that. Just go in the comments and put it there. Okay.
We'll definitely go in the comments and we'll link that in.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna take you off while I close out, but much love.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, having a well-balanced proportioned body is contributed to heightened health, lessening the risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and raised cholesterol levels. Bodybuilding captures all your fitness goals by giving you the physical improvements, boosting your state of mind, and also ensuring you remain on the ball with your diet to supplement all your hard work in the gym. All elements of fitness are important to bodybuilding, but having a healthy body and healthy mind will serve you well for the rest of your days. This is Latasha Scurry, your domesticated diva. Join me every Wednesday at 7 o'clock for something new and exciting. Have a good night. Bye-bye.